everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I'm that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today with another topic that is near and dear to my spirit. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So today we are going to talk about how to keep your son out of jail and out of a coffin. Yes, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Why is it that it is such a common thing for our sons to be out here in these streets, catching bodies, taking lives, this, that? What are we saying to our children? What are we doing with our children? Our children have become monsters. Why are we not saying anything? Why are we not doing anything? Today we're going to talk about our sons. Our sons have gotten out of control. And you know why? I hate to say it, but it's our fault. As women, we have given our sons permission to have feelings about things that they shouldn't have feelings about. We did not correct them when they was going to the left, and we took their fathers away from them. We took their fathers away from them. You know, even if your kid's daddy is locked up, it still would be better for you to take your kids to see him than for them to not have a father in their life. Especially your son. It's so important for a young man to have a man to talk to. Because a young man needs to develop knowledge, wisdom, understanding, skills, swag, all that. You can't give him that. No matter how much you want to put him on his little cute outfits and all that, you're not doing him no justice. You don't hold him accountable for anything. You can't teach him how to feel like a man. None of that. You can't even raise him to be the man that you would want him to be, because you ain't never had a man. So taking the man from the boy leaves the boy confused. Because the problem with us raising our men is that we are too damn emotional. We too emotional. We hard on the girls, but we easy on the boys. The boys can do whatever the hell they want to do. But the girls, we have a kung fu karate chop grip on them. Because we don't want them to bring home no babies. But the son, he out here, he can mess with whoever he want, that, because he a pimp. That's stupid shit. But all along, the boy don't have no skills. The boy don't know nothing. The boy won't even take the trash out. Because you raised him to be a boy. Right? And you don't do him no justice. If you want to keep your son out of jail, if you want to keep your son out of a coffin, if you want to keep your son out of a gang, give your son a male figure in his life. Give him his daddy. Hopefully you chose the proper man to impregnate you. But if he wasn't the proper man to impregnate you, please have some male figure for your son to follow, because you cannot teach your son to be a man. There is no way he's going to turn out to be a man if you was his only guide. Yeah, I know y'all can't. I know you hate my guts when I say that shit, but it's the truth. If your man is the only father figure that you have, that he has to go by, he will not turn out to be too much. Oh, well, he got a job and he did this, but he's still missing elements of his manhood. So whatever lucky woman get him, she gonna be stressed the fuck out. she gonna be stressed the fuck out, because she gonna have to deal with all kind of extra issues, because you can't raise a man, young woman, grown woman. That's not how it go. Just like K. Michelle said, he's already grown, what you gonna do? You can't raise a man. You can barely raise a girl to be a woman. So how can you raise a boy to be a man? Just because he go to school and finish or whatever you think him becoming a man is, whatever you think it is, that may not be what it is. You know, your expectations of what a man is supposed to be may not be what it actually is. You know? But we don't really give a damn because, you know, his daddy can't have him. His daddy can't raise him because I needs that check. I need my 18% of his income. So I'd rather stagnate my son and not allow him to be his best, just to make sure that I get that money from his daddy every week, because that's what's important to me, because I'm a selfish bitch. You know, that's how I roll. Yeah, we know. Unfortunately, and that just shows you how much you love your children. That shows you how much you love your children. Because if you love your son, you want to see your son be a man, please acknowledge the fact that you can't raise a man. You barely know what you're doing for yourself. So how are you going to be able to tell a man, how are you going to be able to raise a man when you can barely raise a woman? You have girls. Your girls are tomboyish. So how can you raise a man? That's very hard to do, ladies. So the best thing, if you really love your son, if you're really down with your son, you would tell your son, I love you, but I think that at this point it's time for you to be with your daddy, because I can't, I've taken you as far as I can take you. You know, I've taken you as far as I can take you, and your daddy has to take you the rest of the way. You know, that's where you need to be. You need to be in reality land with the rest of us. Reality land is a beautiful thing, ladies. That when you realize that my son, I've taken my son as far as I can take him. He needs to be with his father at this point. So let me back out, or let me get my mouth straight and encourage his daddy to come around again, or let me find his granddaddy, so maybe his granddaddy can hang out with him and give him some love, or maybe I can find my father and have my father hang out with my son, so my son will get that energy, or maybe I can find a nice mentor, young man, or someone to guide him and teach him the right way. But then you have to be on point about that, because you got men that could be influencing your son to do all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's so important that when you dealing with these men, if you don't have no intention of sticking around with them, please use protection. Please stop bringing these children into the world, or decide not to bring the children into the world, and you don't have no plan. You have no business sleeping with a man if you don't feel like if he's not choosing you to be his wife. Period. If he's not talking about from the door, I want to be with you, you have no business giving your body to him, because the stakes are too high for you to get pregnant. That's what comes with intercourse, pregnancy. It doesn't have to, because you could use protection, but you won't do that because you're irresponsible like a child. But you can't take the boy from his daddy, because you're going to be left with an emotional roller coaster of what you think is a man, but is really just a shell of a big boy. And he gonna find all that shit out the hallway, making the wrong decisions and doing all kind of stuff. Your son needs someone there other than you to love him and get him through. And it has to be a male figure. Because we as females, we raise terrible males. We allow them to get away with bloody murder. We push them too hard. We disrespect them. We don't want to give them nothing. They can't have no girlfriend. I mean, we the worst when it comes to dealing with our boys. Our boys can be pimps. They can, run through many girls in high school. We let them be sneaky. We don't hold them accountable for anything. I mean, we let our boys get away with murder, and then we wonder why, we can't find no man because we keep repeating the same stuff. We gotta stop babying these boys and teaching them that they can be in their feelings. And the way that you teach them that is you stop being in your feelings. You stop getting in your feelings about shit that has to be done. There is no such thing as I don't feel. We don't want to hear that. We don't care about what you feel like. We care about what's right. And that's how we need you to step your game up. We need you to step your game up like that and stop doing what you feel and do what's right all the time. All the time. Do what's right by your kid's father. If you fucked up, have enough courage in yourself to say, I fucked up. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I wasn't raised with no daddy, so I didn't get it. But I get it now. And I'm sorry for the shit that I put you through in the beginning of our relationship. But I really I need you to help me with these kids. I need you to help me with our kids. If you do that with baby daddy number 1, you ain't got to worry about baby daddy 3, 4, 5. And the thing is with a man won't mind if you got a son. Some of them. Some men won't mind if you got a son with a guy. If it's 2 boys. But men not going to be real comfortable taking care of other men's daughters and other men's kids. They just don't do that. They just don't do that. They don't do that. And not these days. And then you can't trust everybody around your children. We allow our sons to fall victims of the okie doke because we don't even keep an eye on things. We don't even protect them. And then we have these expectations to them. Y'all, we send our kids, we won't even buy our kids shoes, school clothes. We send our sons out here to, they need to look and feel a certain, kids need to feel good to do good in school. They have to feel good about themselves. So how you not going to make sure your kids got nice school clothes to wear back to school every year? You sending them out here to these public schools. They the bummiest thing in the world. They don't have nothing. They peasy-headed. And you sitting up here with fake fingernails and fake hair in your head. Talking about your daddy ain't shit. You do your son like that. Your son, when he start getting of age to learn how to drive, you don't want to let him drive. You stagnate him. You don't want to help him get a job. You don't want to do anything to facilitate that. And you still little boy in him. And you don't make him have no chores around the house. You treat him like he would be your man. And then you wonder why he all emotional and confused. You're not raising him to be no man. You raising him to be a big boy and a problem. You don't do him you do your son no service when you take the male figure away from your son. You don't do him no justice. That ain't gonna be nothing but a problem. Nothing. And the woman that finds your son and want to love your son, it's gonna be hard for her to deal with your son because you done fucked him up. You got him emotional. You got him not trusting women. You got him looking at women like they crazy because you put all that hot sauce on that burrito. You did that. And now I got to come along, the unsuspecting woman that just love herself some of your son. And I got to clean all that hot sauce off just to start even dealing with the burrito because it's so damn hot. And I got some milk and some water on the side because the shit's so hot. You understand? You better follow with me now. I'm telling y'all, we done set ourselves up. And now in the later days, we got to deal with these men that's just, this was the factory that our mothers created. This tight jeans and the hoochie daddy shorts because they want to show their thighs off and all this. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But this was just that new age millennial stuff, I guess. I don't know. But I know ain't no way to, it's only one way to be a man, and that's just be a man. You can't add what you want to do, because some things is just not of a manly spirit. It's just certain things certain men just ain't gonna do. It's certain colors that men just ain't gonna wear. No matter how masculine you think you are, it just ain't gonna do it. Because you can't change and you can't put a new spin on what a man is. A man is a man is a man is a man. Just like a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. You can't change that and put your own hot sauce and shit in the burrito talking about that's what it's not. Sorry, it's not. I don't make the rules. I have to play by the rules. You understand? And I do know that when you take the father away from the son, you don't do him no justice. You create an emotional, unstable, stressed, unmotivated. You do a lot of things to him. You do a lot of things to him that's not even necessary. And they spend years trying to recover from it. They spend years trying to fix their stuff to be better, thanks to you. And then the last thing that they want to do later in life is deal with you. So you end up being lonely and by yourself, because you done turned your son and your daughter and everybody, all your kids, don't nobody want to deal with you. So now you gotta cut your own grass. You 60 years old out there pushing the lawnmower because you done just ran your son off, because you done stressed him out and made him hate himself so much he don't even want to see your face. That's some of y'all reality. Some of y'all kids don't even call y'all no more. Some of y'all, when y'all get away from y'all parents, y'all ain't calling them no more, because they done did too much and done hurt you too bad. And it's a price to pay for all that. You deprive them of your presence in their later years, and that's their loss, because no parent should have to be deprived of their children. Your children should be there for you when you grow old, because when you were young, you were there for them. It's an honor for me to serve my parents, and knowing all the sacrifices my parents did for me when I was growing up. I love to take care of you because you've been good to me. I got a room already in the house for you. That ain't never gonna be no problem. If it ain't my parents, it's my husband's parents. I got you. It's an honor for me to care for you, especially the way you raised your son, and he's such a good man. I would love to take care of you. But when you done fucked up, you stuck living at the nursing home, or you trying to figure it out as you go along. And that's how a lot of y'all gonna be, and that's how y'all know a lot of people that's like that, because they made a lot of bad decisions, and there's nothing that we can do about that. There's nothing we can do about that at all. The only thing that you can do is understand you gotta allow a man to be a man and let a man find his way. Part of the Willie Lynch curse on the woman is us trying to turn our men into men, and it is impossible. It is impossible. The same interest and attention that you show these girls and the drive that you put in these girls, you have to put the same drive and accountability on the boys. The boys should not be able to stay out late, do this, do that, run in the streets because they boys, because boys will be boys. We don't have that. We have strict rules for the young men as well as the women. And part of the biggest part of the rule for the men is that you don't take them away from their daddy, because they have to understand that there is an authority figure, that they have to have that fear in them at a young age, so that they will respect authority. Because a man without any type of law about himself or authority, he a danger to himself. He is a danger to himself. He is a danger to himself. When a man doesn't know any law and he doesn't know any order, he is a danger to himself. And so your children's father is responsible for putting that fear in them and teaching them the right way to understand that, look, you can be beat. You are not the baddest person in the world. There is people out here badder than you, so calm that craziness down. We have to love our children enough to allow their father to be a part of their life. We have to love our children enough to say, hey, I know I can't do this by myself. I know I need you. And I'm going to respect you, and I'm going to make sure our kids respect you, because I love our kids and I want to see our kids do great things. Because if our kids do great things, that's going to make us feel like we were successful. But how we going to feel like we were successful and we did good by our kids when we won't even teach them right? So you've got to teach your son to respect and love and honor his father. You got to put his father in his life. You got to make sure his father stay in his life. You got to make sure that his father is a good man. Because just as the mother is the daughter, so the son is the father. The father is the son is the father. They can only become what they know. And if he's an absentee father, his son missing out on things. And if his daddy not around, you need to do whatever you need to do to facilitate him being around. He needs a male. He doesn't need to be under you and around you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because you are a problem to his spirit and his growth and development. You are a problem. And just because you clothe a child and just because you feed a child does not mean that you raise a child. Children need more than clothes and food. They need more than that. And if you're not capable of providing that, then you need some help. All right? And I don't know what else to tell you. It's not, when it comes to the boys, you need to have the hands-off approach as much as possible. You need to really turn them over to their father so they can have the proper guidance that they need. We do not do our sons services when we try to control the situation with their fathers. Actually, we just being hateful, malicious, and spiteful. Ain't really nothing else, because we just do it to hurt the daddies anyway, because we don't really care about nobody, because we love being hateful, malicious, and spiteful. That's how we roll. Hateful, malicious, and spiteful crew. We don't want to see nobody with nothing, because everything is a problem. Unfortunately. But I love y'all, and I gotta tell you the truth. But I'm tired of seeing us lose our sons to the streets. I'm tired of seeing our sons out here feeling like they gotta rob, cheat, and steal to have something. I want our men to be honorable again. I want our young men to pull their pants up and put a belt on. I want our men to get back to creating and bonding with one another and really dealing and seeing each other for the valuable person that they are, not just taking their lives for granted like they got multiple lives or something. I love our people, but we are hurting, and I think that if we just try and do better, things will happen. And with that, I say shalom. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in to the Average Woman Podcast. I'm that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today with another topic that is near and dear to my spirit. So today what we're going to talk about is how to keep our sons out of the jail and out of a coffin. So, having a son is a beautiful thing, because your son is responsible for carrying the name of your family forward in life. We need our men to be men and to carry our family forward. You need someone to care for you in the later days and to look out for you. Our men are our protection. And when we don't raise our men accordingly to understand their roles, we suffer in the long run. You understand? So we have an obligation. We should feel obligated to make sure that our sons keep a male role model around them. You could provide all the clothes and all the haircuts and all this stuff, mom, but without dad, your son is destined to not be the man. He's not going to reach his full potential. And if it is, it's going to take him a long time for him to finally reach his potential. So please, if you have any type of unselfishness about you, if you truly love your son, the best gift that you could give him is his father. And that's what this is about. His father, he needs his dad in his life. He needs a male role model in his life to hold him accountable, to teach him the right way. We need to be concentrating on our daughters. You can teach your son some things, but you cannot raise your son to be a man. The result of all these feminine, confused men out here in this world today is a direct result of us running their daddies off, thinking that we can raise a man or dictate what a man is or putting out what we think a man should be. And we have done that, and you see what the results are. Our men are just, they everywhere. They all over the place. We got some good ones, we got some outstanding ones, and we got some piss poor, pathetic ones. And a lot of that is because of how we let things go down. So my plea to you is, let your son have his father. Stop trying to hold men accountable for everything when everything isn't their fault, because it takes two to fuck up, and you fucked up first because you let him go. So I'm asking you to please do your best. Back up off your son. Let his daddy have his way with him. Let his daddy hold him accountable for his actions. Don't hide his bad behaviors from his father. Listen to what is the plan. Your child's father has a plan for his son. Listen to that plan. If he wants his son to be a fireman or this or that, whatever he wants, you facilitate that. You always speak well about this man to his son. Okay? Even if he didn't do right by you. Your son has to respect and fear someone, and he's not going to respect and fear you, but he will respect and fear his father. And it's important that men have that, because they need that discipline. That discipline that we don't have, daddy has. And you can't imitate that. It's just not possible. And you don't raise men and women by beating them. You don't raise animals and anything by beating something. You just teach them how to love pain. All right? So I'm going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Average Woman Podcast.